Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Thank you very much for joining me here today for this amazing, if I do say so myself, speed build in Brindleton Bay, and we are building Colonial Townhouses today. So as you can see from the brief video at the start of the video, oh come on, ignore me, my brain's not working today. There are 3 houses all next to each other, and the reason that I've wanted to do this for quite some time is because yesterday I built my classic townhouse and I uploaded that to the channel. So if you haven't seen that already, that's linked down in the description below if you want to go and check that out. And that sort of started this whole townhouse process for me, and I've realized I absolutely love building townhouses in The Sims 4, and so I think this is going to be a regular thing on the channel, but I'm going to do different styles of townhouses. So I'm going to do modern townhouses. I know there's some townhouses that you find along the beach. We're going to have a look at that as well. Obviously I'm going to spread all this out so that you guys aren't bombarded with townhouses, you know, for like a week and then I go back to doing non-townhouse builds. So I am going to try and spread it out a little bit just so that you guys don't get sick of it. But I really love how this build turned out. So as I said at the start, there are 3 houses on this lot. The middle house is the one that we fully furnish, and the 2 houses on either side are partly furnished. So imagine how a house looks when you move in. So you've got your kitchen units and all your bathrooms are furnished as well. So that's what we did with the 2 on either side, and then it gives you guys the option, if you do download this lot, if you want to just use the middle unit, then you just use that. If you want to move other sim families in on either side, then you can obviously furnish that as to however you want, and the floor plans are already done, so you'll know what goes where, and then you can just decorate it to your own sort of taste. So I thought that would be better than me decorating all of them, because I have to appreciate that some people might not have PCs that can handle 3 fully furnished houses on one lot, and so that's one of the reasons that I decided to just do the middle unit. But the exterior of this build took me around 30 minutes to do, which actually I didn't think was too bad. So I actually worked on this today. So we touched on this a little bit yesterday in the speed build, and I did say that I wanted to try and pre-record a lot of builds and then just sit and do the voiceovers. And then I kind of explained that if I do it that way, I'm going to feel quite burnt out, and I'm going to be kind of robotic when I'm doing it. Whereas if I'm doing the builds in that day and then I'm doing the voiceover, then I feel like I'm able to talk about it more because it's fresh in my memory and I've just done it. So we're gonna have to see how it all turns out, but at the moment what I'm doing is I am building the house, recording the footage, editing the footage, and then posting it all in the same day. And I realised that I'm not going to be able to keep that up for very long. You know, there are going to be times when I am going to need to pre-record because I want to take this channel very seriously and I'm really passionate about it, and so I do understand that there are times when I will have to pre-record, but at the moment I do think this is working for me, and so we're just going to continue doing it as we're doing it for the time being until it no longer works for me. So as I said, the exterior of the build took me around 30 minutes to complete, which I didn't think was too bad. To be honest, when I actually looked at the footage I thought it feels like it took me a lot longer, but I had such a good time doing it. I feel like that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, that it felt like it was longer. It just, I don't know. Sorry, excuse me. I'm just going to have to take a sip of my drink because I feel like I've literally just eaten, and sometimes I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but my throat sometimes like gargles, and yeah, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be doing that on a voiceover because you guys don't want to be hearing that. So I feel like if I take a sip, then hopefully, there we go. Feel a little bit better now. So yes, we're just continuing on with the exterior of the build, and this does, I feel like this is my catchphrase, this does change ever so slightly, because I say it in every single speed build that I do, but it does change slightly. The middle house changes slightly at the front. We put like a bay window in the first floor, just to make it a little bit more dynamic and give it a bit more shape. Although I'm looking back now and I do think it looks really nice as it is here, but I think just adding that bay window just added a little bit more depth to the build, and it just makes it a little bit more visually interesting. So yeah, and once again, I haven't recorded myself doing the floor plans for any of the houses, because the one in the middle and the one to the right are identical in the floor plan, and then the one on the left, because the front door is actually on the side of the house, which is what it was like on the reference image on Pinterest. I didn't completely copy it, but I did use it as inspiration. So that bit on the side I just thought was so awesome, and I thought I absolutely have to include that in this build. That was quite important to me. My throat's about to gargle right now. As we speak, it is about to gargle. I'm so sorry. I really want to get this speed build up tonight, because my husband is going to be in the office pretty much all day tomorrow, so I'm not actually going to have a chance to do a build until tomorrow night. So my next speed build is probably going to be up on Thursday rather than tomorrow. But that's okay, it's just that I really wanted to get this up because I was so excited to show you guys what I'd done today, and I really, really hope that you guys make use of this. And please, I love it when people send me, even if you just DM me on Twitter or Instagram, just send me screenshots of their Sims in my builds. I absolutely love it, because it makes me realise that actually what I'm doing, even if one person downloads my build, that makes me so happy. And if one person comments and says how much they love it, it really does make my day. So I always get really excited when I do a build that I'm really proud of, such as this one, and I get to share it with you guys. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So the kitchen, let's talk about the kitchen here, because I had in my head that I wanted to do quite dark woods, quite classical furnishings. See what I mean? My throat just gargled then and my voice went really weird. I am so sorry. I'm genuinely so sorry. And I'm not going to edit it out, because I am a human, and you know, I'm sure there's someone else on this planet that does the same thing that I do, and trust me, you're not alone, and I want someone to tell me that I'm not alone too. And I'm so sorry that you're having to hear this over a speed build, but you know what, we're all friends here, we're here to hang out. This is what would be happening if you were hanging out with me in real life. These are the noises that I'd be making. So anyway, the kitchen, so we changed the colours of the swatches so much during this build, because I wanted it to be dark woods, classic furniture, because obviously it's a colonial style house. And then I decorated the living room, and without really knowing it, I chose quite muted tones, so like a lot of creams, pastel-y colours, light wood. And then so I had to change the colour of the kitchen as well, because I think when you've got an open plan kitchen living space, they have to be fluid, you know, they have to match, because if they don't match, it's going to look a bit strange. So we play around a lot with the swatches in the kitchen. And the living room came so easily to me once again. So I spoke about this in my speed build yesterday. It's linked in the description down below if you missed that earlier, so go check it out after you finish this, obviously. And we spoke about this yesterday, and that normally I have no problem whatsoever building kitchens, and then I struggle with living rooms. But for the past few builds, the last one included, it's linked in the description below. That's the last time I'm going to say it, I promise. I did talk about this yesterday, and I said that the living rooms that I've been doing recently I've absolutely loved, and the kitchens I've just kind of, they're okay, which is so unusual for me, because normally it's the other way around. I normally love my kitchens, and my living rooms are really quite, like, not bland, but I don't know, they just don't seem to sit right. And so this build and the build I uploaded yesterday, it's been the living rooms that I've actually preferred, which is unusual. I'm not complaining, but I just wish that I could get both of them right rather than just one of them. That would be nice. Maybe one day I will. The kitchen in this house isn't horrible, but it's not my best one. I'm just being honest, you know, and I think I I did this house, I only did it in 2 sittings, I think, which is pretty good going for me, because normally it takes me anywhere between 3 and, oh my gosh, 10. I could like go and then come back, change my mind about everything, and then, oh, I'm so indecisive, and it's the littlest things for me. So like when I'm like even just changing the swatch of something or changing a plant somewhere, that can make all the difference to me, and like when I'm looking at it, it can make all the difference to the build. And so I'm quite picky with it. And obviously I know that you guys, well, some of you will be downloading this, and I want it to be as good as it can be, because I want you guys to absolutely fall in love with it, and I want to love what I'm doing as well. And so it's just really important to me to get it right. And so yes, so here we are. This is me having a play around, messing around with the swatches and being very indecisive. But that's okay, because, you know, it's all good. Everyone does exactly the same thing, I feel, when they're doing builds. And then while I was playtesting this, that green footstool from Snowy Escape was in the way, and so I just had to do a little bit of rejigging. But I kept everything, I kept all the furniture the same, I just moved it around a little bit. So I didn't actually record me doing that, because I don't feel like anyone really wants to watch me do that. I might be wrong, but you know, it's just one of those things. Again, here we go. So I'm just changing up the plant in the middle of the island there, because I think it just made all the difference to me anyway. I don't know if you guys do exactly the same, but I'm a perfectionist, that's why, and everything that I put out, it has to be not perfect, because my stuff isn't perfect, but perfect to me. I keep rambling in my speed builds. I ramble so much in my speed builds, and if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So we're still working on the downstairs. It actually ends up, I think, looking really cute. And then I use my all-time favourite, I call them hallway tables, I don't quite know what they are, but the one from Cats and Dogs, I just love it so much, and I just put it behind the island there, and then I almost put a stool there, and then I took it out, and then I can't remember if I actually put anything, oh yeah, I put a fruit bowl on there, just because I feel like you would have something on there, right? You know, it wouldn't just be like plain and not decorated. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, we're still working on cluttering up the living room and just making it look a bit more homey. And I put these shelving units on either side of the fireplace, which I think turned out quite nicely. And then again, they were dark brown, and I made them white because everything else was quite, you know, creamy toned. And then I had an issue with this extra bit of the kitchen, and I ended up just putting 2 of these bookshelves from the base game there. I don't really know why, I just think they look kind of cute, so I just kept it as it is. And then now we're moving on to the upstairs, which is the last part of the build. I'm not in love with this. I must admit, I'm gonna confess that right now. I don't love the upstairs. I don't love the rooms themselves, as in the way that I've decorated them. So if you guys do download this, I'd quite like to see what you do with the other 2 houses on either side. And you can see here that there's no floor plan, there's nothing in there at the moment, but I did all that off camera after I'd finished the middle house. So when you do download this, the floor plans are laid out, as I said at the start. The floor plans are laid out, and the kitchen and the bathrooms are all decorated, so they're pretty much ready for you guys to move in and just do with them what you feel's best. But if you do download this, I would love to see what you do. So send me some screenshots. I absolutely love seeing. I love it when people share screenshots with me. I just absolutely love it. So send them on over, and you know, we could just talk about it. I think it'd be kind of cool. And yeah, so this is the master bedroom. It's all right. You know, I'm not a fan of bedrooms anyway, decorating them. For whatever reason, I can't seem to make them look all that good. I think I can count on one hand the number of bedrooms that I've done in the last few months that I actually really liked. And I think one of them was from one of my Christmas houses. And it wasn't even that extravagant or that detailed. It's just that I think all the colour palettes that I used and the items that I used together, I think they just looked really good. And so that was the last time. Children's rooms, on the other hand, you know, if you're returning to the channel, you know that that's my jam. Although the children's room in this house, I don't know. Again, it just, it's okay. It's not anything special. I'm really not selling this to you, am I? So if you were watching up until that point, you've probably left now. My throat just gargled again for like the 3rd time, but I'm not editing it out because I've tried to do this voiceover 5 times now. So you're gonna get some throat gargles. I am sorry, but it's happening. So just comment down below if your throat gargles and I'll probably feel better. But moving on to the final room, you're probably thinking, oh, thank God the speed build's nearly over. It is, it absolutely is. So this is the final room. It's very pastel-y toned and it's an odd shape, but I think we utilised the space quite well inside. We put a desk in, there's toys in there for them to play with. So I think it turns out okay. You know, it's okay. The downstairs of this house is definitely the selling factor, and the exterior as well. I think they're the selling factors. I don't think the bedrooms and the bathroom upstairs, if you do move in here, they're probably going to be the first things that you change. But I will leave you guys in peace now. If you'd like to see screenshots of what the house looks like in game, they are at the end of the build. The tray files are linked down in the description below. This house is also available to download from the gallery under my origin ID, which is RachelPedd. But thank you very much for joining me here today. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!